Hello everybody, so today I'm going to be showing you my Mikasa doll that I customized. So I tried to get her as accurate as possible to the show, but you'll see like stuff in there that's not the same. Like obviously her face doesn't look exactly like her because I'm still not really good at repainting faces, and I'm gonna keep her scarf on a lot because the original Barbie face is smiling and she doesn't smile that often, so I'll just keep that on there. And her hair, and you might not be able to really see it, but the one that I had was just the purple shirt Made to Move Barbie, and if you know that one, you know that that hair is kind of difficult to make to customize because her hair is only going backwards, and Mikasa's hair is a little bit more to the front and covering her face, so I kind of had to do a method of because like her hair isn't completely covered, so luckily, you know, the top of her head is black, but I had to use a lot of hairspray to get her bangs just in the front, and even then I still don't really like how it looks, but I'm not gonna change it because it took forever just to get it to look like that. And I even had to cut the hair, and I think it looks decent. I know in the anime, her hair, like the little strands, some are a little bit shorter than others, but I think I'm just gonna leave it. And then the scarf, I had to kind of cut down a bigger scarf to make it down to that size, and I had to look at a tutorial on a Mikasa cosplay outfit, like how to do her scarf, so I had to kind of look at that to put it on her, and even then it doesn't look exactly the same since it's supposed to look like just one strand going down. So I mean, I guess I could trim it so then it looks like just one side. And for the outfit, a lot of it I didn't actually make it. I found clothes that look similar, and I either had to repaint it or resize it. So like this, I don't know, this cape I actually found on eBay, and it's one of those 1/6 size scale kind of army clothes. There was actually like a hole in the back, and I'm not quite sure what that was for, but I kind of sewed it up. And I know this is a lot longer than in the show, and it's not the exact same color, but you know, it still works. And then I just kind of glued on the Scout Regiment logo on there. Oh yeah, and this is just held on by Velcro. There was actually like a leaf, I don't know, it was like a plastic leaf sewed on here to look like a button, I guess. And since they just have like a little button, I just decided to get rid of it, and then you can just take it off like that. And then for her jacket, I had to glue on the logos, and I had to cut it down because I honestly could not find any jackets that matched the same color of their jackets, and I'm still not very good at sewing. I mean, there's some stuff I can make, but I don't feel comfortable with making a jacket. Although after this, I might be able to, but not really. I found a jacket, and I'll put in the link down below where I found it. And if I can find this thing again, I'll put what it's called. I don't know if the listing will still be up for other ones like this, but I'll put what it's called if I can find it. And then the jacket, I had to cut in half because it was actually the size for a male. And so I had to cut that down, and then I had to cut the sleeves, resize them, and cut them smaller. And so that's what I did with that. And then for her shirt, you can actually just find, because it's just a Barbie long sleeve button-up shirt. And then for her, I don't know, her gear, I guess, the straps and all that, it was very complicated. I mean, I'll get to that once I take her jacket off. But real quick, this belt on top, I know it's supposed to be like down here with this, that actually attaches the 3D maneuvering gear, which I did buy separately because I was not gonna make this. This would have taken way too long to try and make it accurately. And I will put in the description if I can find what it's called, but honestly you can just look for the 3D maneuvering gear for their figures, because this is actually from a figure set and it came separately. The figure didn't come with it. It was just this maneuvering gear and then like some spare arms to switch it out, you know, on holding the things or holding the blades. But yeah, I was pretty lucky I could find like just the separate thing without getting the figure too. I mean, I wouldn't have minded the figure, but it would have been kind of bare without the gear. And there's actually like a little spot right there for the to hold it. I mean, obviously you're supposed to hold it there, but there's like this little space right here where I can just slip the Barbie's hand in there, which fits perfectly and it doesn't move. And I know it's not exactly accurate, but if I can hold it without putting like those plastic bands on, it works for me. So yeah, and to keep this on, I had to make this belt, and I actually had to glue on the back part of it. I had to glue that onto the belt so it could be a little bit more sturdier. And then the belt is being held on by those buttons, I guess. Well, not buttons, but yeah, the belt is being held on by something to give it a little more support. As you can see probably from right here, there's one right here and then one right there, and then obviously one right here holding that part together. So that's two separate parts right there. And then going down the parts for her legs, these are actually, you could probably tell, are glued onto the pants, so they're not going to come off. And I didn't glue it on completely because I didn't want like a whole mess on there. That's why this part is actually a little bit movable. And this part is not. This part's stuck on there. So if you were to take her shoes off, you would see it doesn't go all the way down. So yeah, and I couldn't find little buckles, I don't know, that size. So I just bought some wire and I made the shapes and then glued them on. That's why it looks so messy right there. And then for her boots is the same store on Etsy that I bought the jacket. And the boots I wasn't too sure of at first because it's a high heel and their shoes, they have like an actual like extra part there. They have a heel, but it's not like this. But once I repainted it, because it came in gold, there were no actual just brown ones. I had to repaint these. So once I repainted it and put it on her, it actually looked really good, at least in my opinion. I mean, it basically looks like the same thing until you turn it to the side. So I still really like them. And there is a zipper on the back of it so you can take them off. And yeah, so that's also really cool. Okay, so I took the jacket off, and like I said, it's just a regular Barbie white long sleeve button-up t-shirt or blouse, and underneath you can see some of the gear is not actually separate. I mean, it was separate, but then I had to glue it on because honestly I don't see myself taking her outfit off completely, so I just, to make it easier and less complicated and look a little bit more neat, I just glued it on. Some parts, I mean some parts you can tell are not glued on, but this might not look as complicated, but to make all this, it took so much time and measuring and adjusting to her size. Ugh, man, it took forever. But I do like how it looks, and even though I'll have it like the whole outfit on, and you won't really see it, I still am happy that I was able to make it instead of just like painting it on, which isn't bad, you know, like, I mean, if you're gonna have all the outfit on, might as well just paint it. You know, just get some fabric paint or acrylic paint, whatever, and just like paint it on the shirt. I mean, that would have been so much faster to do, but I do like how it looks. And I'll take this part off. So yeah, these two are holding this 3D maneuvering gear on for better support. And I even thought about having straps connected to these, have that attached to the leg, that way it would stay on and also be a little bit more extra support, but surprisingly I didn't need it, so I'm okay with that. And if you look, there is like these little pegs parts that stick out. That's supposed to be for the figure that you put into the legs so it sticks better. And this part came off. So yeah, that part will just go right here. So yeah, you'll just take that part off, and then the rest of it, I mean, there's a lot of stuff, so there's a lot of wires connecting it. So yeah, let me put this back together. It came apart. So that's what it should look like with it all together. After a while you become very familiar where everything goes, and I say that because the box that this came in, hold on, let me get that real quick. So yeah, the box that it came in looks like this. As you can see on the front, it's just the gear. But it's all in Japanese. And this one was actually for Eren, so that's why you see him on there. But he doesn't actually come with it, it's just the gear. And I think you can get other character ones too, but this is just the one that I found. And then when you open it, it should just be the stuff in separate bags. and then you'll just put it together. There is an instruction sheet in there, even though it is all in Japanese. It shows you pictures on how to put it together, so there's also pictures so you can see what it's supposed to look like. Or you can just look online at reference pictures, because that's kind of what I had to do a couple of times. I had to look at cosplay outfits just to see how it goes, because I wanted it to be as accurate as possible, and there were times I forgot to look at the instruction sheet because I forgot there was one, so. But yeah, that's what this came with, or that's what it came inside of. And then I added the belt. So yeah, there was no way I was gonna be able to make all this. And kudos to all the people, the cosplayers, that make theirs like life size. Like that would be way too difficult for me. Even just like this small 1/6 scale size one, I could not do that. I mean, maybe, but it would not look this good. So yeah, that's all the more intricate things. I already showed you that that stuff is glued on. I did make this part, which was just some brown fabric, and then I cut it into the size of what it looked like, and then put like that little button so it's stays on, and then I made these little brown straps and glued them on here, and then the little buckles. So, oh yeah, and her pants, I was able to find as just white Barbie pants. They look like jeans, honestly. Like, I mean, if you take everything off, they just look like jeans. But it's still the just white fabric, not like the jean fabric. And so, yeah, so that part is probably the most basic part to make out of her outfit, is just like finding the blouse and finding the pants, and that's probably the easiest part. Oh, and I guess if you can find a scarf. But everything else took me a long time to make, except for that. Obviously I did not make that. So I'm actually really happy with how she came out, and obviously I wish I could have made her face a little bit more accurate, but you know, you work with what you got, and I'm still not that talented, so that's her face. It's like a pretty generic anime face. I mean, maybe it doesn't look exactly like her, but you know, with the whole outfit and everything, that's what matters. So yeah, this is my Mikasa review of the doll that I customized to make as accurate as possible to her. And just kind of telling you all this stuff, like where I found it, what I personally had to make, because like a lot of the stuff you could just buy. I mean, if you can. I'm not very good at sewing, so I wasn't gonna try and make a jacket or boots, because yeah, a lot of this stuff I'll put in the description of what it's called or where I found it, if I can find it again, if you're interested. But I think she came out pretty great, in my opinion at least. I haven't really seen any other doll remakes of her, or customizations. I've seen a couple, and some of them are really, really good and very accurate, because obviously the people made them exactly to look the same. So mine might not be the best, but I still really like how she came out. So yeah, thanks for watching. Bye.